Can you also see my screen?
Yeah, sure we can.
Okay, thank you. There's a lot there. So yeah, welcome to Graduate School Pathway. I'll be your host today. Please feel free to let me know if I'm talking too fast. I'm talking too low. So today we'll be considering a lot of step-by-step procedure about how to secure admission and funding outside Nigeria or outside the country. So these are the overview of what we'll be discussing today, actually. I hope um, you enjoy the meeting and it will not be too boring or boring. Don't mind me. So first and foremost, I will be introducing what this forum is all about and how it first started. So it started 19th of September 2021, and previously it was named studying in Korea. And this was because that was my first country I've traveled to. And as at then, the career education system and immigration were kind of flexible to the outside world. So a lot of people then were able to move from Nigeria to South Korea. And I think some of them will be talking today as well. Maybe one or two people will be talking and sharing their experience on how to on how they move from Nigeria to South Korea, from South Korea to either US or Canada. So so we have a YouTube channel. We have a WhatsApp group, which most of us are on, and some of us got to this link of this meeting through either referral or someone else. So briefly, I will introduce myself to you and what I do best. So my name is Adedamola David Aladeshi. I'm from Mondo, yeah, and this is my social media link. You can always check it up. I will add it to the group, so you can always check it up later on. And I had my BSc in engineering physics in OAU, Nigeria. I had my master's also in physics OAU, Nigeria. Then I moved to South Korea to study chemical engineering and biotechnology in Shona National University in Yosu. But the main campus is in Gwangju, in South Korea. Then I moved to the US thereafter, where I am talking right now. And so what I do, other things I do, I love God. I'm a passionate gospel musician. I travel a lot. And because of the rigors of academic and whatever it is, I try to lessen the moment by watching comedy or YouTube skits. So you can always see me doing that every time, every time. So that's enough about me. So let's go to the business of the day. So what are we doing today? So what's is graduate school all about? And before I start, you can always drop your questions in the chat box. Someone will be collating the questions and will be able to answer them um, during some breaks. So, what are the things needed for graduate school? You need your academic CV, you need the transcripts, you need your writing samples, you need recommendation letters, you need um, these exams, which people always think is not necessary, and I'll explain why it is necessary in the course of this meeting. Publications or West evaluation. But these four are very important. For the remaining three, they're kind of optional, but they are still important. And I'll explain why. So most of the resources you need covering all these things are in this Google Drive, which I will share later during the Q&A session. So first thing first, we talk about a country I once applied to twice. So I'll just be sharing my experience and how to navigate through all these things. And New Zealand has 8 universities. Like they have just 8 universities. So New Zealand has 8 universities, no application fee. Just need to send your CV, your transcripts, your writing samples, and their preference most of the time is for people doing PhD, not MSc. Because so the mistake I first made was that I applied for MSc, although I found a professor that was willing to get me in, but the man was like, couldn't push further because it is they have high cost of living in New Zealand, so you can't spend that amount of money for someone that will spend just 2 years. So the mistake I made then was that I'll still share my story anyway. I was thinking my MSc in Nigeria would not be enough to meet their standard. But eventually I met a Nigerian that told me like it doesn't matter. I could have applied directly to the PhD and they would have upgraded um my course and I would take some prerequisites before moving to PhD. So the only thing I did then was just I sent my national passport and to them, and that was it. And I sent my CV as well, and that was how I got the admission. But there was no funding because I applied for MSc. So the second time I applied, this time around, I got a full admission for PhD, but there was no scholarship. Although a professor was saying that, oh, I can help you get a scholarship, but I have waiting list from two people from China, and you have to wait for an extra year. And I was not thinking of planning to even do that. So that was why I just had to ignore and just face other schools. So what are these opportunities in New Zealand? We have government scholarship, we have university scholarship, we have professional funding. And how do we apply to New Zealand? So I'm going to show you some schools, but all the schools they have, and I'm going to show you how you can apply to these scholarships by yourself. And that is one of the reasons why I'm organizing this webinar because people think that to travel or to apply for this thing is stressful. The only stress that is there is just getting all your documents ready. And this can take up to 1 year, 6 months to 1 year, if sometimes 3 months. So you start gathering them bit by bit. And you know that you can perfect your writing in 1 day. I was a bad writer before, like I don't know how to write SOP or CV, but now I write for people. Like I write for companies. I've written visa, SOP visa for people going to Australia and all. And even if I don't need your story, what I just need is just I need your CV and I'll write your SOP for you. So the more you write, the more you get better. And also I've trained people as well to like write and are even better than me now, but it's one of those things. So I'm going to show you how to apply to New Zealand in just like few schools that I know that they have scholarships. All the schools have scholarship though. But I'll just show you like about 2 to 3 schools because of our time. So I'll stop sharing my screen for now. Then you can go to how to like apply to these universities. So admit, let's give me a sec. So you can drop your questions in the chat box. Once I see it, I'll surely reply. Uh, Okay, share my screen the last time. Share all screen. Okay, this is my Google Chrome folder. We should all see this now. So let's just type universities in New Zealand first. So you can see that I've been working on this. I couldn't sleep. Last night I slept so late just to have this thing sorted out. So we are getting, so we have that, yeah, just 8 universities in New Zealand, just 8 of them. And we have Auckland, University of Technology, Nico University, Mass University, University of Auckland, Canterbury, Toga, Waikato, and Wellington. So this was the school I applied to, Auckland, that gave me admission and I found someone. And this is Victoria University of Wellington. So I will show you how to apply to just 2 schools because of our time for Wellington and Auckland. So what I can do is so so University of Auckland. So let's do postgraduate study options. And so the official language in New Zealand is not English. It's not English. You could say that. You could say that. Yeah, it's not English. But most of their programs are in English, so you have options to choose whatever you want to do. And they have several programs that you can do and scholarships opportunities, which is what I'm looking for here. So we click on the scholarship here. Um, you see several scholarships that they have, like several scholarships. They have doctoral scholarships, research master scholarships, they have diploma, they have postgraduate scholarship. We have a lot of them. So if I'm going for the Auckland doctoral scholarships, for instance, and one thing about New Zealand is that they accept applications all year round. Yeah, all year round, some of the schools. So you could see I told you they have high cost of living. So for instance, these are the things that the application you need how to apply, and everything you need to apply to see apply by November 1 days to get your scholarship by this time. So they have dates and deadlines for their scholarships, and this is just one out of the numerous scholarships they have in Auckland in this school. And when I applied to this school, I applied to Department of Physics. And the way they work is that once you submit your application portfolio, they will send it to all faculty in that school, in that department, and associate department. Although I applied to physics, someone in mechanical engineering picked up my profile and like, oh, David, I need to like have a discussion with you. So when it went, we had a discussion like more like a mini interview anyway, and they were like, "Oh, David, the proposal you submitted does not really align to what I'm doing. But if you want to work in that direction, this is what we can do." So he said, so he sent me his proposal, like his personal proposal. So he sent it to me. He asked me to edit it. Then I submitted it with my application package, and that was how I got in for the program. But there was no funding. He was asking me to wait for 1 year and write to him again. So if a professor really like you, even though you are doing physics or chemistry, someone else in another department may be willing to like accept you, and that is how they work in these schools in New Zealand. There is no application fee, like I said, and once you are not going alone. If you are married, they have scholarship that will cover for your family, your kids, and all. So this is how scholarships work in New Zealand. Like it's one of the country I wish I would like to go because it's far away from the world, like it's far away. And let me see, New Zealand time now. They share the same time zone with Australia. The time now. Let's see. They are 3:19 a.m. on Sunday. Sunday already. So this is just one of the schools like Auckland, and this is just one of the scholarships that they offer in University of Auckland, and that applies to all the schools in New Zealand. They have several scholarships. We have this one as well. We have these. We have several scholarships in Auckland, in New Zealand, sorry, that you can apply for. The other school that we can also go to is this. And when I mean they have crazy funding, New Zealand has crazy funding. I'm not joking at all. Like I'm just from experience when I was applying, like the number of universities I applied to, number of countries I was applying to. So I was not really freak about US like some people. And I think I'll share my story later. Like I was not really like freak about the USA. Like I was not really freak about that. So let's see what this has to do with their scholarships. So let's see. Okay, you have scholarships here. So let's see what they have in Wellington. So find the scholarships. So let's do postgraduate and doctoral scholarships. So you see the scholarships there. So you have 1 year. So this one are closing March 1, July 1, November 1. So if you missed out on March and July, you have November 1 to apply. And you can see that the application is available from the Faculty of Graduate Research. So let me try and open this by side. Audio playing it in new tab. So you see their pretty candidate scholarships. You see all these ones. So they have several scholarships that you can apply to in New Zealand, like a lot of them. Like several of the scholarships in New Zealand are so huge. Like they are very huge. And that's one of the reasons I like tell people you should not like try to focus all your attention in one country and try and spread your tentacles in every country you want to apply to. And as this will help you to like navigate through the rigors of academics. So let's go back to our slide and see what we have from there. So if you have any question concerning what's it called, New Zealand, you can just ask me now before we go to the next country. Like you are free to like unmute yourself and ask any question. stop sharing. So you have any question concerning New Zealand, please you can let me know now, either in the DM or you can mute yourself and ask me. So there is scholarship for what's it called? For
Hello, sir.
yeah, I can hear you. There is just hold on, please. So we have scholarship for masters in New Zealand actually, but they call it research master scholarship, but it's very extremely competitive. Extremely competitive. I think I answered your question, Solomon. So any other person, any question?
Yes, you mentioned something about the standard of living being high. Do you mean the standard of living is expensive, like to live there? Or what?
Oh yeah, so standard of living in New Zealand is quite expensive. It's high. What I mean high. So that is why if you are coming, I think it's more like I don't really know much more about the comparison between New Zealand standard of living and UK. But if you are coming to New Zealand, the first thing that they will tell you that the professor will tell you like, oh, the cost of living is very high. I met a Nigerian in that school to go like, oh David, you can't come here and live on self-funding. Like the cost of living is very high. And the thing is that if you are married, there's a type of house you can stay. You can't just stay in any house. The government will like ask you for the document and before you even get the house. Another thing is that if you are married with a kid, there's a sort of apartment you can have that consider the safety of the kids or your children. So you have like more than two kids, you have to change their house. So the place is like a system. So you have to have enough resources, money and all to be able to like support your living expenses. This is what I learned from a Nigerian that was staying there that was doing his PhD at that time. Things might have changed, so don't quote me wrong, or probably like quote me word for word. But this is what I was told at the time I was applying to New Zealand. So a question is, can I get admission to New Zealand without publications? That's a tricky question. So when I applied to my first application to New Zealand was in 2018, if I'm right. Yeah, I was in Nigeria then. But I was trying for masters. I had just one publication, and yet it fly. So it could be about your grade, about your publications, could be about maybe IELTS, and it could be about how convincing your proposal could be. So it was the first time I learned that if you are going to New Zealand, Australia, you need to know how to write a proposal. So it could be many things. And sometimes it could be grace, like you can just see professor like, oh, I think I like your work. Can you apply? And they'll be like I said, it was the professor that gave me proposal I used for my application that got me that admission. So it could work that way. I've seen a situation where that the students and the professor they wrote the SOP together just to let the student come into their program. But either in the US, I've seen it in the US happen before. So you can have publications, you may not have publications, you just have to like build that document. So what document are you need to submit when applying to New Zealand scholarship? So it varies from school to school, surely. But it's more of your CV, recommendation letters, your writing samples like SOP, cover letter, like proposals. Sometimes they ask you to do some uh, download some forms to send some people that should help you fill it out. So yeah, but it varies from school to school. And I don't want to dress so much on New Zealand because of time. But if you are interested in knowing about New Zealand, actually, we can schedule one-on-one meeting and we can talk about it. I do that a lot for people. That's one of the things I do a lot. Like you can schedule a meeting and we discuss on New Zealand. Like if you have the resources, you have the applications portfolio to get to New Zealand. It's a very good place, like one of the safe country in the world right now. Like, and I think I have someone in New Zealand. Yeah, I think I can say that I have a Nigerian that is staying in New Zealand, and their citizen pathway is close to Australia. You can work after you graduate. You save when you are going. You can't go alone. You have to go to your family. The scholarship cover them as well. So So yeah, so that's all about New Zealand. So I need to move to the next school because of our time. So let me share my screen again. Then we move to the next school. The next country. The next country. So the next country. Okay, before the next country, let's see. Hopefully we can. So you can see that all these things are be complex. like could be complex. Like, do I have to do all this thing by myself? Yeah, everything is complex, and that is why this. So you just have to get rid of the negative vibes. Get rid of negative vibes. You just have to stay positive. Yeah, it's very complex. I'll still share my story, and I think one or two of my friends will share their story as well. I could have shared you my my emails. Like I sent several emails to several countries, except for the US. And I'll tell you why I was not applying to the US for some reasons. But now I'm in the US now. I sent several emails to several countries, a lot of countries. I can't count them. Just to get one or two, just to get. I only got my first years in that was 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, yeah, late 2019. But I'll share my story when we get there, and we see where we go from there. So the next country is Estonia. So Estonia, like New Zealand, have several scholarships too, but they have just three public university. And I will show you about them as well. I got to know about Estonia while I was in Nigeria. I was applying to Italy by that time, but I stopped because South Korea came. I think I even applied. I didn't stop. I applied to Italy. I got admission to Italy. I even have an email from Moscow. I don't know, it's with the Padua or something. I got admission to Italy, even ready to go through all those language barriers just to live in Nigeria. So, but I got about to know about Estonia. They don't have an embassy in Nigeria at that time. I'm not so sure if they have now. And but I don't really know much more about their scholarships procedure and how to go about it. So, but now I can say I have, let's say, partial knowledge about how their scholarship work, and this is because I have a friend. I have a friend in Estonia that is studying right now, and she's about to graduate. She's a Ghanaian, but because of why I was able to like navigate how things work a bit in Estonia, and I will share you how, and I will share to you how sorry, and I'll share to you how to do that in a few moments as well. So let's go. I'll do the same thing I did earlier. If you go to my Google, yeah, we start. So let's go to universities in Estonia. Just let me know if you have seen my Google Chrome. If not, please, that I won't be showing you something else. So universities in Estonia, we have just three public comprehensive university. It is well. We have just three universities. We have Tallinn University of Technology, University of Tartu. So these are specialized universities which are not really like universities. Then we have private universities, private institutions, and all. But our focus will be on these three universities. And I will show you my friend's school, PSAT. That will be the school that will be considering actually. So this is my friend, PSAT. This is our school, Tallinn University of Technology, and I will show you how we can navigate through that. So I met her when I was in South Korea. We were trying to like work on the same. So if you're trying to, so this lady, I got to know about her on ResearchGate, and we are doing the same thing. When I mean the same thing, like my work in South Korea and I work, like they were the same thing. The only thing that she's doing that I was not doing is that our lab has some sophisticated simulation experiment. But in my lab in South Korea, we are mainly experimental. But because I had knowledge about computational stuff, I had to like bring that idea to my lab. Because she's like in this field, she's like my senior. And so let's just go to our school without, and avoid talking too much. So let's go to this school, Tiny West of Technology, Tatech. Uh, so let's go to, let's see, admission. See scholarships, PhD. So you see now, forms these are the scholarships they have in the school. So mostly Estonia, this I think she did a master's first, then she moved to PhD. So let me tell you one thing about her PhD that I like so much. So during her PhD, you have the opportunity to travel in a year, like I think 6 months in a year, and you have the opportunity to travel to like two labs. If you are going to, the lab can be anywhere in the world. They are funding that cover that, and once you are going to that lab, you are going with the mind that you are collaborating with them and publishing with them. So at least the paper must come out from your interaction in that lab. So she has traveled a lot, like my friend here in this school, she has traveled a lot, and that's one of the things that schools outside the US, people that study outside the US have access to compared to us in the US. Like that's one thing. Like they have access to travel everywhere they want to travel to, and once they go to that lab, they publish with the aim of publishing. So let's just go to one of their web scholarships in this school, and let's see. So this is a tech school, so you may not see more of non-STEM field. So this is an example of what they have, like several scholarships as well. There's a deadline, 30th of June, 30th of June. This has closed already. They have this has closed. So several scholarships, like a lot of them. And the way they work is that you don't pay application fee. Oh, they have for business as well. So they have for business, this is economics and finance. I never knew, to be honest. I never knew they have for economics, to be honest. I never knew until now. I never knew they do. So for instance, let's go to business, enough of we that are doing science and science. So let's say that I want to work on this research area, for instance, and I open this link. I think this link should take me to okay to download. So this is what, for example, this is what they need here. Oh God, this is what they need here. Straightforward, no application fee, like I said, and you can directly like submit your application. You are in the master degree in economics of finance, and I think their requirements is not even much for a active. So it's not even much in this business school. Like I said, I didn't know they were applying, and June has passed. So I'm sorry, this is coming late. It's never too late. So sometimes this is just one school actually. Some other schools publish, and this is just the university scholarships. They are also like professor scholarships so that you can apply directly to the professors. That is attached to a particular maybe they got a grant in between the semester or in between the session, and they are looking for people to start right away. So they always publish their scholarships on their websites. So I didn't know that this school have non-STEM feed until today, until now. So let's see. So for spring, so they have summer admission, they have fall, and they have spring. So spring, you have to submit between January 1 to 24. So you still have time if you're applying for that. And even for this one, so for autumn admission, you still have time to do that. You still have time to do that. And you can see that as it's ongoing, never stop. Same thing in New Zealand, ongoing, never stop. They have three admission routes. Same thing in Estonia. So the thing is about this country is that they need people, but people are not going there because people don't have access to this information that they have to. So the only thing that stopped me from going to Estonia when I was living in South Korea was that I I don't want to go to a country that I don't have Nigerians around me, or go to a country where I feel isolated and I won't be able to like speak or speak their English well, speak their language well. That's personal opinion. And my friend, like I said, my sister has been there for a couple of years. She's married, she has kids, and enjoying herself. The money is there and all, but it's just what you want eventually at the end of the day. So I think that's that about Estonia. So I'll give room for questions, and I'll give for questions now. And if you have your question, please you can ask in the chat box, and we can talk about it. So for I've answered this question. Can you get admission without publication? Yes, you can. And so one of the reasons why I created my platform is that I want people to like to to interact, to come together and publish together. And when I say opportunity, I put on my page, and I think the one there was one I put like a conference opportunity. And once I did that, well, no, none. I didn't know what nobody show interest except um one of my candidates. And I said, you know what, I will pay for you for the abstract submission. You don't have to go to the conference. Just put yourself there. So for instance, now last year someone supported me, not me, sorry, supported us with 5,000 error. And that is one of the reasons I'm giving out the money today. I added some of my money. One of my friends, I won't mention her name, gave me money as well. And two also promised to give me money to just like support this stuff. So it's about what's it called? It's about connecting people. Even though they have population today, you can have tomorrow. I know someone that does not have publication as at this time last year. She doesn't have, I'm not sure she's online right now, but she is. But now she has about two or three now. Like two or three, yeah. And her writing has changed. Like it was someone that anytime I'm correcting an SOP, you're like, no, this is wrong, this is wrong. Like we had issues with. So when I'm working with people, they don't like working with me because they said I correct too much. Like I made a lot of corrections too much. And that was where I was trained by. I undergo training through a lot of people, like Professor, where you Professor Lisa, uh, Dr. Ola in Sweden. So a lot of people like actually helped me in my writing, and now I'm better. And when I meet people like, oh, this your CV was better than this. This is not okay. So we have to like edit together. I don't care. Like we spend 1 month editing your CV. Eventually, I want you to like be better than me. And once you're better than me, I will even like start sending people to you like, please help me review this CV, help me review this CV. And that is what I always want. So another question says, let me see. Thank you, Samuel. How can I help you with publication? Then I think we can talk about how to help with publication. It depends on the feed you are. And I think I published it on my friend in Israel because we have similar feed, not the same. Myself and Ajayi Samuel wanted to publish at one point, but we couldn't even find a common ground on what to publish about. So even paper right now is still stands still. So there are many people on this platform right now. Like maybe after this webinar on my WhatsApp page, you can okay, if you want to connect people. If you want to like publish together, you can publish together. And you never can tell. You can see sponsors that can sponsor you. You can see people. You can even publish in journals where you don't have to pay. And all it requires like you just need one or two people to come together and just publish, and that will be it. So if you have any question, please you can ask me before we go to the next thing. If you have any question, please can you let me know. If not, then let's go to the next in our agenda. So we learned about New Zealand, we learned about Estonia. So the next thing we are doing is just share your story. So I think I told Ajayi Samuel to come and share his story. I don't know if he's online. Samuel,
Yes, boss.
okay, yeah, come and share your story.
So
So let me background story. I met Samuel 2021 or so. Yeah, and we've been good. So we share the same traveling journey. So we share his own story and we can learn from him. I'll stop sharing so we can learn from Samuel.
so good day, everyone. My name is Ajayi Abiola Samo, and it's nice to actually be here because we are all Nigerians, and if you are not a Nigerian, we are all Africans, right? I don't think we have any whites among us. Do we have any white among us? So um, I will start sharing my story because I think I finished NYSC, that was 2020, and I was like, I don't know the next thing. I remembered I served in Ondo State, and I remembered after service, somebody walked up to me and was like, they want to purchase a form for me, right? And the form is about like obtaining a master's degree because I finished from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech. So the person was like, okay, I want to obtain a form for you for a master's degree. I studied mechanical engineering, a master's degree in FUTA because I served in Akure. So I was like, oh, let me think about it and everything. And I remembered after my service here, I don't know what next because if I could remember vividly, I got a job and the salary they want to pay me was like I think 120. And when I got 120, the first salary I was expecting 120, but the Nigerian system, it was more like instead of 120, they gave me like, was it 80,000 or 60,000? I asked them like, where's the remaining money? They said it's on insurance and what have you, blah 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 blah. I said no, I cannot continue my life like this. I said no, 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 I cannot. So I started applying to, I don't know about scholarship. So somebody told me that I should apply to China. So I applied to China and I got Chinese government scholarship. Like I was just the privileged one among um um a lot of people that applied. I was the only Nigerian that was like shortlisted. I remembered in our being that is nuclear engineering, and I was online because during those times after NYC, it was more of like COVID, and like COVID was just saturating everywhere. And I was like, oh, okay, let me start with online scholarship because I don't know how scholarship works. I don't know how it goes. So like I started online and I remembered it was 2021. I just saw a group. I think that was the first group I'm gonna join, like for what's his name, like for scholarship. And lo and behold, it was the Mr. David that was the anchor of the. I just put my head, me, any group I see, as far as it's gonna be profitable for me, I just took my head there. So as I took my head there, I was like, oh, this is it, that I'm in a scholarship already, but there's no of what benefit it is for you to be in Nigeria and you say you are doing a scholarship abroad. It doesn't make sense. So I was like, bros, this is how it is. Oh. So he guided me, and I think I was just like, I don't know this, I don't, because I know that I trouble him a lot those times. It was in South Korea, so I wasn't in South Korea. So lo and behold, I applied and I was chosen and everything went well. I found myself in South Korea, and finding myself in South Korea. I don't think we met. We didn't meet. I think we were making some attempts before he went to the United States. So I did my masters in South Korea. Trust me, it wasn't so easy. Like it wasn't so easy. So I did my masters in South Korea for 2 years, and I was like, what is the next thing for myself? Because like the language, like he was saying, the language was a barrier, but you know all my courses were in Korean language, but I just try to struggle. Nigerians, we struggle out of things and we make things out of nothing and what have you. So I tried my best. I tried my best. I finished everything like in my third semester. So my first semester was just like, oh God, what is the next thing? One thing I had at the picture of my mind was that when I go to South Korea, I was like, this is not a country that I can settle for, like my family or my wife or what have you. I'm not married. I'm just talking, like, you understand. Like I was looking at the future plan of it. So I was like, okay, I handed everything over to God. Mind you, when I started this scholarship opportunity, I was actually open. Like I was open to any country. I was not pursuing the United States. I have a couple of friends in the United States and other countries. So at the tail end of my South Korea journey, I applied to, like, I think the first university I applied was University of in New Zealand. That was University of Canterbury, and I got a scholarship there, but there wasn't a but. So after that, I kept that scholarship. I didn't let anybody know. So another month, I applied to Australia, University of Monash. I got it also. And lastly, I was like, I applied to the United States. I also got the United States. So I was like, which one should I go for? But one thing I had in mind, like you said, I don't want to be far from home anymore because the journey from Nigeria to South Korea was a journey of like 20 hours, you understand? And you are going to a place that you begin to talk, you begin to explain. You understand what I mean now? So, like, so at the end of it all, I found myself in the United States, and to God be the glory. I think the journey was like, it was very stressful, but trust me, it pays. So that's just the end of my story. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
any question. You can.
yeah. Thank you, Sam. So
Yeah.
you mentioned about in South Korea, yeah, you will talk and explain and explain. So let me give you an example of that. So they speak Korean, they speak Korean. So we have Google Translate, or we have Papago, right? Papago? Yeah. That was their so so they don't use WhatsApp. They use Kakao Talk. So many of their things are just like different. So and the way they understand English is different. So for instance, if so it's like I'm coming to meet you. It's like I go there for them. I go there. Like I go there. What's I go there? So I had a lot of issues with my advisor in terms of English. Like that was so let me just share my story, then we discuss about one more thing, my story. So I did my NYS in 2017, 2018, 2017. So I did my master's form in OAU and I got in May 2017. So for me, I had to like more like like finish early and I finished within 1 year in OAU, which is unbelievable. Like people say like it's unbelievable. Why would you go to OAU and have your master's done in 3 semesters, like 1 year? How is that possible? But I did that. There's evidence for that, so I can't be say I fraud this thing. So and when I finished in 2018, so I was torn between two words: stay back in Nigeria and get the lecturing position they're offering me, which is not really sure, or leave. So at this point, I was like, you know what, I will leave. So my first passport, international passport, was blank. I didn't use it all through, so it expired. Just to tell you, like, okay, if you have been on this road for a very long time, like, oh, I'm tired already, it was, I didn't use it throughout, like for the 5 years, like, oh, expire. And sorry, I'm Yoruba, sorry for saying that. And the second time I went to like get the new one, the immigration officer that met me there, like all these people were asking me that, David, I thought you left Nigeria already. I said no. He said this time around, leave. I don't want to see you here again. So and one thing then it was that I was so I told myself like I have to leave the country. So because of that, I was thinking to myself, what do I mean? So I was not using iPhone or Samsung. I went to buy a Nokia phone, like very small Nokia phone, a 10.5 or you 10.5 for very beach. And this was the phone I was using then, just to be able to like save on cost and apply for these stuff. So I did IELTS and I think I had 7.0 out of 9. So as at that time I finished with a 2-1 in my first one BSc. For my second degree, I finished with first class, like top 1% of my class. And I didn't have funding or scholarship from anybody at that time. I have publications and I still have IELTS. I have a very strong profiles, but I was not getting any offer from any school. I wrote several emails. I can't. I wish I can show you my emails. So when I see people like saying, "Oh, David, we've applied, we've not seen any response," and I ask them, like how many emails have you written? Like, are they up to 100 already? I wrote several emails. Any country, Italy, is it UK? Is it New Zealand? Is it? I even got Sweden. Sweden got my scholarship. I got into Sweden. The school, University of Jesus Christ help me, God, Uppsala University. They sent me an email that said, "Oh, you have a very strong profile." That they said, although this is not the final decision, but be sure that we've already given admission. They sent me that, and I was happy that I'm going to I'm going to Sweden. But I missed out on the government scholarship. I missed out on even on the school scholarship. But they still want me to come. So I have several admissions, no funding, even with my strong profile. But people that was relying for help, actually, they slide me. Like I was like, oh, I know someone there, I know someone there. So just one particular information, like someone said, David, what are you doing in Nigeria? What are you doing in White House? White House, that's the Special Department. Like people that finish with 2-2, with 2-1, even that didn't have first class, like they have gone very long time ago. What's happening? So they started pushing me here and there, like push and push and push and push and push. So there was someone that was in South Korea that said, "Oh, David." So I have two colleagues in South Korea. One was we have the same supervisor, but was posting me. So a professor now told me, like, guy, say David, but that sorry, that the guy you're defending on is he won't help you. So he gave me another person's number. Believe me, the first link the guy sent to me, the first professor the guy sent to me, I sent him my profile. The guy accepted me into this lab a week after, gave me funding a week after to South Korea. I was like, God, is this magic? And I've sent more than 200 or 300 emails. Look, I'm not lying. I'm not joking. And when I got that offer, the guy said, David, Owen Yankere, so that money is small. That I will show you, like, I won't be sending the link to you. I will take you to the website, to the site where I'm seeing this Facebook, this websites on Facebook, these Korean applications. I saw several offers in South Korea. And that was why we went like, oh, I can't be sitting on offers and I will leave people in Nigeria. So I applied to several schools in South Korea. I got funding. Like I was doing interview back to back. Like I was like, oh, the money is small. This one, the money is small. Let me go for this. It was 2019, the late 2020. It was like a year for me. Like I started deciding, oh, I want to go do this, do that. This money of this one is small. Oh, this money is so eventually I picked a particular school, Shina National University. And why did I pick this school? The money and my professor is the guy is cute. He's very young, like very young. But when I moved to, I'm not gay, I'm straight. So, so when I moved to South Korea, like my first apartment was like wow, like I stayed like this 5 story apartment, like I was comfortable, everything was going okay. But the problem was the language. The language was bad. The racism was low key, but they will show you. Like I don't want to spoil South Korea. Like I don't want to. Yeah, it's low key, but they will show you. I didn't go to church for a year because the church there is like church in Nigeria too. You can join a church and you join occultic society. So it's very like, and they have. But later I joined a church, so I was not myself. If I show you the pictures of South Korea, like you pity me, like oh, this is guy you want to suffer in that country. Yeah, I didn't go there to suffer actually. It's just one of the experience you are going to South Korea, just go there and do your masters and leave. Except if we have a supervisor that's understanding, that is willing to help you. I know people that even when I South Korea, they started to. I think someone went to Japan at one point. Yeah, he went to Japan at one point. I know of friends that went to Malaysia. I know of friends that went to Vietnam that the supervisor were supportive. But some of us are not just not lucky with supervisor. So when I was South Korea, I helped a lot of people to move to South Korea. Like when I mean a lot, like a lot of people. Someone can bear witness. I can't be mentioning names. Like I helped a lot of people. And when it was time for them to leave, some left. There's a guy in Canada right now. The guy is in Canada right now. I had a friend of mine that we're using a Zoom profile. Nana, we left together the same year. She's in Someone is in the US now. There's one of my bosses there. Olatunde Ayomide. I won't. So there are people that God has like I've met through this journey that they really helped me. Like so sometimes people say they want to go to the US, want to go to the US, want to go to the US.
You were the one
You
that
have
helped us now. You were the one that helped us now.
you have to go to some countries just to come to the US. Like I said, US was never in my like I don't it was never in my top 10 to come. But even when I was even trying to leave US, I was not applying to the US. This is what happened. I was applying to UK because of woman. I was applying to I was applying to that just apart. Yeah, I want a family. You understand? I want to get married now. But it didn't happen. So I applied to New Zealand. That was how I got the New Zealand offer. I applied to Estonia, Belgium. I was even applying to what's it called? To just to today I was so frustrated in South Korea. I was applying to even come to Nigeria. From Nigeria, I go to Gambia. From Gambia, I start all my life all over again. But no, I didn't. I couldn't. So I was like, I don't want to stay far away from people again. I want to like have this peace of mind and that was so I applied to US very late, like very late. I applied to US I think from February and March, and God just gave me admission. So this journey is very like I think this like the food they tell you about my story. And I think in this journey you face through a lot of things, but you just have to keep pushing. Like you have to push and push and push and push and push. So let's do one more country, and we call it I say call it a day, maybe. So this last country is most this country people don't think that you can get scholarship, but trust me, I was on a waiting list one of their scholarships, and I was surprised. UK. UK is a country that you can hardly see funding, but can you get funding? Yes. But where are these fundings? UK government hide their scholarship funding. Like they hide it. People know about Commonwealth, right? You know about Chevney and or Queen, whatever, whatever. Yeah. But if I tell you that there are other scholarships that the main scholarship body in the US are these two guys there. And how do I know about it? Is because I got in. I was on the waiting list for this. I almost got in. And when I'm in waiting list, they only the school only apply, I think 15 candidates every year. 12 are 12 are citizens of that country. The remaining three are international students. But I was on the waiting list for very long, like for like like 1 to 2 months being on the waiting list. But I know most of you rely like, oh, there's Chevin, there are other scholarships in the US that you and I will not know of if we don't really like dig into it. And I will show you. So I will show you this. This is not really important, but because it's very common. But these two, I will show you the secrets today. So let's go a bit into. I want us to finish in 1 hour because we're tired late. So let's see if that is possible. So let's go to the UK. Government scholarships. Yeah, I viewed that yesterday. So this is how you view the government scholarship in the UK. Set all. So you see base scholarships, Chevrons, Commonwealth scholarships. So these are the main funding in the UK, like to have and this and that. But let's go to something different that you own CDT scholarships. UK. And you wonder how I got to know about it. So you could see UK research and innovation. So let's come here. Date or not today. So you could see this is what fund is available, eligibility for funding, currency the award, resilient and all. So this website has all of the scholarships. You see them? So let's see. This is one. These are a lot of them. The scholarships available in the UK that you can apply to. A lot of them. These are the previous CDT awards. So you could see we have renewable energy, oil and gas, soil and science, use of smart, this and this, all in the UK. And the way they work is that you just need to like go to the school and just find it. But this is when I was looking for funding in the UK. This is what I was back into DTP, and that one is DTP or CDT. So I always go to CDT websites, see a lot of them, and how to apply. So you have access to like several funding opportunity using this website in the UK, like a lot of them. And their requirements is not really hard. So let's do EPSRC scholarship in the UK. Let's see. Let's see. This was May 23. But let's see. So each school has their own funding anyway. They have their own pathway to get through the EPSRC. So let me see. There's one here. So yeah, CDT, flexibilities. Let's see. Was here before, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I wasn't here before. It's a different thing. So you can see advanced materials. You see all this now. Physical sciences. These are last year teams. You could see them. Each of them are funding opportunities. Each of them, and not that they are just applying to one. Like they can be each of them can be looking for. There are 10 or 14, 40 students. You see all of them. bit by bit. You see them attached to a school, bit by bit, all of them. So you can get into the UK without going through. So I'm always surprised when I see people say they want to go to the school. Fine, go to the school, or you're going to an agent. Fine, go to the agent. But let me tell you, the funding. So in US, it is NSF that controls the funding in the US. So in UK, what controls the funding is EPSRC, this body, and CDTs, this as well. So your best bet to get funding is through this EPSRC. So if you are going to apply for any funding in the UK and you want to be rest assured, my best bet is you have to go through this website because you have access to the professors themselves, to the school themselves, and this will save you a lot of problems. You can see that there are a lot of them, a lot of them. I think the one I applied to that time, do I still remember CDT aerosol? Let me see. CDT aerosol science. Hopefully, yeah, this was the one I applied to that time. This was when I applied to. I was I was I was hoping, I was praying I get into it. And the way this work is that, so the way all their AP SRC funding works is that it's very straightforward. So once you come in, you will spend 1 year. Is it 1 year? I think you spend 1 year in the school. You'll be doing general school. And just not just a school, you will have they divide all you guys into a team. So each team we have a supervisor, we have a head from university, another person from the industry. So you spend most of your time in school, in industry. So it's like an industrial research based funding opportunity. Like I said, this is one of the things that other countries offer than what we enjoy in the US. So the EPSRC is a form of training of PhD candidates or students to become industrial researcher or industrial experts. So if you are going to the UK to get MSc or PhD, your best bet is to go through. You can do Commonwealth, fine. Because Commonwealth and Chevron, you have to come back to Nigeria to serve them back. But for this other stuff, you enjoy your stay there and you have fun. So let me see. Let me show you something. Your research. You see the research under the scopes now. See partnerships. Let me show you their partners. And each of these partners, you can see them. Each of these partners, each of these students will go through all the schools. So for this aerosol, these are all the school you go through. So you can choose any school depending on your supervisor. So depending on the project you are working on, if it's under Airbus or this and this, you yourself will be you'll be working in that industry. And it is fully funded. Like when I mean fully funded in the UK, this is where you get fully funded, and nobody will tell you to go back to your country once you are done you can't, because this is like a government industrial sponsored project that once you are done, you have to sit down and work with the government of that country and bring what you've done into a product or into realistic. So that is how amazing the funding in UK is. It really pained me actually, really pained me that I didn't get in to this program, TDT aerosols. It really pained me because, like I said, I want to connect to people in UK. I want to think that I've got a woman, whatever it is, blah 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 blah. But it really pained me because they were doing what I was doing in South Korea. In South Korea, I was designing, printing biomedical chips, like microchips. Like that what I was doing. Like I was really like an inventor then, like inventing stuff for the future and all. And when I saw the opportunity to do this PhD project for them, I was so happy that I'm going to get in. But eventually I didn't. So UK at the time was like point from then. I said, you know what? UK delayed me, then go to the US. And I applied to three schools in the US, and just one said that you can't do West. I'm like West, I don't have money for West. Although I have IELTS, although my IELTS has expired, but still yet, my school said, David, you can submit it because of COVID. I said I don't have West. They said, go and use West I calculate online. Send us you. And to God, as God will have it, I was the only international student that I got in that year. And I'm the only African in my department right now, the only African student, or an African professor, the only black in my department. Just to tell you, like, I've been on this journey since 2018, and I've been through a lot of things. So when the time comes to share your story, always remember that, oh, your story will eventually help people along the way. So I have some questions for me in the DMs, and I see them. So can a scholarship? Okay, let's start from. What's the mode of teaching at postgraduate for Estonia? I don't really know the mode of teaching. So in South Korea, we were taught in Koreans. I don't know if somewhere they taught in Koreans too. We were taught in Koreans. Like
Korean,
our
Korean,
classes,
Korean, Korean.
our
Yeah,
classes were in Korean. And in Nigeria, we used to do MS school with SER, use of English. So I did the use of Korean. I have to pass. So I wrote Korean exams just to like graduate, you understand? Uh, and what else again? So the mode of teaching differs. In the US, I've taken classes as well. So it depends on your school, depends on the country, depends on the department. And can a scholarship for PGF to travel along? Yes, I think I've seen that all over and over again. You can travel with your family to New Zealand, to Estonia, to Australia. Those countries I'm mentioning, and Germany, they have scholarships for you and your family. To the US, it's somehow like it's somehow because if even South Korea, so if you travel to the US to your family will not be able to work. They cannot work legally. Even in South Korea too, your family cannot work legally. But in the other countries I mentioned, Estonia, no, let me say not Estonia, New Zealand and Australia and Canada and Germany, there are scholarships that will cover you and your family. And social sciences courses. I think I mentioned that. So in the school I showed you in Estonia, I didn't know they have social science courses until when I went there this like saw it today. So yes, there are courses for social sciences in Estonia, in New Zealand. Yeah. There's a school I know that is mainly known for agriculture in New Zealand, and that is Massey, MSSPY. Yeah. So you can make make you just have to do research by yourself. What I'm just showing us today is just for you to know that it's possible to do this by yourself. If you need help with the resources you need, this is where I come in. Like, oh, you need this thing, or go and write this thing. I'll give you sample and template, write it, get back to me. So the more, if you can't expect, so you can't expect me to like write it for you. No, if I'm to write it for you, I'm going to ask you to pay me for that. But very busy, like I'm very busy. I told you I work with companies in Nigeria to write SOP for other years, but I stopped for some reasons, maybe because of other reasons too. I just had to stop. But if I asked to go and write a CV or write an SOP, I think I helped someone several times too with CV, and I think the guy's an expert now. Like most of the people on this line that I've helped, like they are expert now. They won't bother me to help them like go to their CV anymore because they're an expert already, and they're even helping people after that through that stuff. What are the opportunities for? I didn't get that question, so don't understand what the question means. Can you get straight PhD with PSC? Yes. In APS I think yes, it can. Like I think if you see one of the things like I was pushing then is that they want people. There is like a direct. You can do direct PhD, direct. What's good? Direct. Yeah, you can. So it depends on how convincing. So let me tell you my scholarship, my interview with these people. So they said, for your interview, you need to do present what you are doing in 2 slides. I've never heard that in my life before. Present what you are doing in 2 slides. So I think my first slide was my topic and my name. Second slide was what I was doing. So in my interview panel, there was I think there were 3 or 4 people, 2 from the industries, 2 from the school, and they said like, so they ask you questions about. So it's sometimes not about if you have MSc. Sometimes with your BSc, if you are convincing enough with your research experience, it can be conferences, it could be maybe workshops and all. Yes, you can eventually get. So let me see the next question. If I didn't answer your question very well, please you can always reach out to me or my WhatsApp. I need to bring it out. Okay, let me paste the WhatsApp page on the group. So you can always reach out to me and also paste my number as well. I think everyone should have my number on the flyer. So I will type my number in the 070-365-1785. You can always shout me up. That's my number. And so in case I didn't answer your question very well, you can always reach out to me and be available to answer your questions. So please share the Estonia scholarship link because I joined late. So for the links for all those if for the UK links, whatever it is, I'm going to share it on the WhatsApp of my WhatsApp group because I've not compiled them now. So so you can join the WhatsApp. I'm going to share the links there for the UK, for Estonia, for New Zealand, for the scholarship page. I'm going to share them there. I've not really compiled them yet, so I will share them on that page. And there's a recording of this that will be made available on YouTube. Yo, I just sent. So let me send it again. I think I sent to the wrong person. Just thank you for letting me know, everyone. Okay, you have it now. My number. So the recording of this webinar will be sent as well. So I think that's the questions I've been seeing. If you have any question, please let me know before I continue. So so let's go. So are you thinking of giving
Yes,
up workshop?
I
Do you have a
have
question?
a question,
Okay,
please.
what's the question?
Yeah, okay, actually, I have like, okay, 2 to 3 questions. All right, so thank you for the wonderful presentation. I must acknowledge that first. So I try not to put my eggs in one basket, of course, as advised. I've tried to send code emails to different professors, and sometimes I see the effort that some professors, put in assisting me, like, helping me with research proposal, SOP and all, as you mentioned. So what if, I get accepted by different professors, of course, into different schools, because I'm trying to be emotionally attached. I'm trying to consider their effort, and not to sly one professor, please, can I just be confident to go for whichever opportunity I want to go for, or will the professor feel bad? So that's my first question, actually. So another question is that hope you are noting those questions, sir.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I'm writing them now.
Okay. All right. So another question is that, my undergraduate project, of course, was in a different, field of geophysics entirely. So can I, because it has been really, a difficult thing for me. I've been getting responses from some professors telling me that, oh, your undergraduate research work was on biogeophysics, and why do you now want to switch to probably glaciology or seismology and all? So please, how can I convince them the more that, of course, my foundation was in, geophysics. I'm not in biogeo. That was just my undergraduate research work, and I spent, of course, less than a semester on that. So please, how can I convince them? And also, this, will I include it in my SOP? Will I, for example, if I'm applying for seismology program, can I include my undergraduate research work in my SOP? Don't forget, it's in a different field entirely. So that's my second question. And lastly, I have a publication in engineering geophysics that I co-authored. So I wasn't the first author actually in engineering geophysics. So like I mentioned that, for example, if I'm applying for seismology and they ask me for my publication, can I actually present that? 2 different fields entirely. Can I present that publication in engineering geophysics? So those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so that is sorry, Victoria, didn't send me this. So Victoria is a very good friend of mine, or my good sister anyway. So she got so I've been helping her with her applications for a year now. Yeah, a year now. And we've had a lot of wins together. She finished with first class. She got Igbala Jobi passport intervention. She got US grants during for her project. So she's one of the people like I'm really proud of that I've worked with. And that person is my namesake Adedamola. She recently got a cable scholarship for GRE, fully funded to get for a GRE exam. So I have a lot of people I've always worked on, and always proud of them because of the push and efforts they have put into it. So to answer your questions, Victoria, so I'll start from the last question. So when I was applying, I used my own experience. My so my master's was in nuclear physics, atomic and nuclear physics. That was a red flag to many countries because I can't go to another country getting them to like, oh, this guy studied nuclear physics. You are more like a spy. So something happened by the time I attended one webinar online of uranium enrichment. I didn't participate in the live webinar, but the host sent me the link to the video. You believe that after the meeting, when I went to check my LinkedIn profile, the US immigration system, UK, all those FBI, all those border and security went to check my profile just to tell you that I was doing a course in Nigeria that is a red flag to many international community. So when I was presenting my SOPs, when I was presenting my publications, I put all my publications, but even my transcript showing that I was doing nuclear physics, or I was doing what's it called, or I was doing atomic physics or radiation physics. But anytime they ask me like, "Oh, David, you are in so field. How can you? What are your plans? What are you?" And I said, "Oh, when I was working in those field, I used a computational technique. Computational technique. So that means I was coding. Although I'm not really perfect in coding, but I have a basic knowledge, like let's say basic or medium level of coding. So that was what I always shoot. That my coding experience and my research publication skills will give me the ability to like be able to conduct research in your lab and also perform anything something related to like simulation in your lab. So anytime I have all sort of questions, although I've seen some rejection, like, no, you're not in my field, you're not in my field. But anytime I got a yes from a professor, those are what I use. Like, um, me and publication means like I can conduct research independently or with minimal supervisions. And it makes them see me that, okay, this guy has publication. So yes, he can do a lot of research. So my advisor here in my school here is the graduate coordinator. He told me one day, like, David, the only reason why we gave you admission actually among your competitors was not because they don't have grades or they don't. He said because of your publications. So imagine that I don't have publications, or I have IELTS, I have the grades, but publication. He said that publication means that you can publish, and he said that the same way you publish in time past, I want you to do the same thing here in my department. So sometimes, regardless of your field, you can always migrate. So let me tell you, if you go through my story, like I was shared some times ago, I went from engineering physics to nuclear physics. Then from nuclear physics, I went to chemical engineering and biotechnology. What is the relation? I just like was able to convince them, like, can you do this? I said, yes, I can, because I have applications, I have this and that. So you leverage on what you have on this. It may not be your project. It could be like the skills you use during those projects. It could be maybe you are doing you did a professional course online and it's programming. Like you can leverage on that. I have with addition to my in addition to my grades and my research project, I have a coding experience which can be leveraged upon to gain admission to this and will be useful in your lab. So that is very, very important in when writing. So you can write it in your SOP that you did this, but these are the skills, these are what you learned from this writing, from this experience, and this experience will be pivotal in your next career option. And your first question to make feedback, it's okay to feel emotionally attached to someone. Like we do that a lot. Like you just have to consider many things: funding, where you are going to, the cost of living of the country, of the states, and every other thing. So it depends on where exactly you're going to. So it's not. So it's good to be emotionally attached to people helping you out, but when it's time for you to make that decision, just have to like they've done that to people in the past too. So you just have to decide like, oh, this is where I want to go. And when I was going to South Korea, there was an offer that was even replying to when I was in South Korea already. I told them like I was still doing like I'm sending my document out, but I said, you know what? I just stopped replying them. Like I cut all the attachment and face what I was in South Korea. So yes, you will have emotional attachment to professor because you like is taken to that school. But once you get a better offer and what you know that you're successful in, then you just have to let go of those attachments. So, any other question? So, in the absence of no question, let me just round up this. Round up this.
Yes, sir.
You have another
Please,
question?
there's a
So, what's the,
question on the chat box.
oh, okay. Sorry. Chat
Mr. B.
was. What's the question? Okay, HND. Yes, you can. People with HND can get admission to the US. I know. I think I'm not sure of any other countries, but to the US, yes. To the US, yes.
No,
And
that
such
wasn't my question, please.
has to do West. So, what's the question, please?
It's about master's opportunities for social sciences in the US.
Oh yeah, there is in the US. Yes, there are a lot of them. Like a lot of them. You may not have full funding, but there is a lot of them. I think we talk about that soon. And I think there are a lot of them. You can always reach out to me through WhatsApp or email. And yeah, you can always do that. Then we talk about that. Because of time, I may not be able to talk much about yesterday, but surely we have plan for that. We have plan for that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Let me drop my email to the chat box. Any other question, please, before proceed? So okay, let me just share this. So if you're thinking of giving up, just listen to this. The biggest poison in us is regret. I think there are a lot of people that have dreams and aspirations of things that they always wanted to do, but it wasn't the right time, or they didn't have enough money, or they didn't have enough experience. It's never the right time. You're never gonna have the right experience. And all of a sudden you wake up and you're 70. And you're like, God, I wish I could have done it. It's what you don't do that screws with you later on. I get one shot at this life. This is it. And I don't want to go through life being the 80% version of me. I don't look back and be like 77 and be like, I didn't do that. There's so much I want to do, and I love life so much. I don't want to miss it. So I don't want to miss it. So yeah, I was hoping to cover US and Australia today, but I won't be able to do that. I'm sorry for those that are looking forward to US or Australia today. So I could have done that next week, but I'm having a program next weekend. But because of that, we'll be moving it to August, the last Saturday in this month. I'm sorry about that because I wanted to talk about US today. But the US and Australia are very, very, they are the most complicated countries when it comes to traveling, getting funding, and all because the requirement is very high. Same with Canada. I will try and see if I can insert Canada into this list of Germany, but I don't know. But we talk about three countries today, and we spent a bit number of time, and and uh, and that's how it is. So so before the end of this meeting, if you have your questions, please let me know. But and one thing I said, we have a cash giveaway. It's just a small token of 15,000 naira for this first webinar, and it will increase by next webinar. And thanks to all my sponsors as well. Like thanks to them, I appreciate them. They're my friends, and they've been supportive since the day I started this together. And so if you have any question, please ask me. And I think Samuel did not send me this. Samuel is single and session. So he's in the US doing his PhD. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. And I think you should have the link in the chat box already. So just available for 5 minutes. And thank you. Yeah, thank you, Loretta. And if you have any question, please ask me. And feel free to like reach out to me. My number is on the WhatsApp already. You can call me directly, so you can call me on WhatsApp or text me. And if urgent, you can send me an email. I'm always online. I'm always so my research. I didn't talk about my research. I'll do that maybe next week. I'm working. I'll talk about my life in the US as well. So my research is computational. I'll talk about my research in the US and how US has been. So good. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, this is the end of
So,
today. We've been
Mr. David,
yeah.
yeah, so somebody was asking about the fact that IELTS is very expensive, um GRE is expensive. So my answer generally is the fact that I myself, well, I was opportune, as it was like I didn't use IELTS, I didn't use GRE for all the opportunities I have, but I will not say those kind of opportunities is for everyone, right? But the fact still remains that like we have some leverage, like Nigerian being an English speaking country, right? We can always email the graduate coordinator, you understand, trying to like trying, just trying. But that does not remove the fact that you should not do it. If you have the money, you can do it. Because then myself, I was like, I don't have the money, those times. And it was a bit, I think it was a little bit cheap then. But you can try your best, and if you have the money, you can also pay for it. I know Mr. David has something to buttress more on that. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So like there was a time like that I put on my page. I said, okay, when IELTS was 30,000 era or 60,000 era, what was the excuse? Now it is close to 200,000. So there's a friend of mine that's right now, we're talking right now, like she's online. She can bear with me. I told her, so super person, go and write IELTS, do West evaluation. She did it 2 months after. She can bear witness. The thing went up. He said, David, I'll forever be grateful to you. When I always tell people, when I did my own IELTS, I saved my money for it. I was not using iPhone. So I'm sorry if I'm shouting ash right now. Like you can get rid of iPhone, trust me. Buy Palasa, buy small phone, use itel, use Techno or Infinix. It won't spoil your steez. Sorry. It won't spoil your steez. Now when you're in the US, you can have your risk. When I moved to the US, I changed my Nokia phone. I was using my Nokia phone as in the screen. When I moved to South Korea, I was using that phone. South Korea is one thing about South Korea is that they give us free phones. I don't know if some of you got some free phones. I got some free phones in South Korea. I got tablets. So I moved to Samsung and LG in South Korea. I got two new phones. I sent the LG home. I was using a Samsung. When I moved to the US, the Samsung was not working. So I had to get another Samsung. Just to tell you how this. So the LG was not working. I had to get another Samsung. And as time goes on, I sent the Samsung home. I'm using a Google Pixel now, Google Pixel 7. But then I started with a Nokia phone and I stayed for IELTS. I don't want to say something about something that happened. Someone promised me that, oh, David, if you can pass your IELTS, I will pay for the money for you. I passed the IELTS. The person gave me 10K. Just to tell you, like, oh, people will like get on your nerves. But I was happy then. So once you have, even though you think it's expensive, I'm not saying Nigeria economy not better, but once the money was like maybe 70,000, 80,000. It's the same reason. There's no money. And trust me, it keeps rising. I'm just happy my friend did worse. Like she did it when dollar was make sense. Now GR is going up. Same GR is valid for like 5 years. But I've done it maybe like 4 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago. No have same story. But please, if you can, if you have the money, please do. And if you don't have the money, like I said, one of my candidates got GRE scholarship, cable scholarship recently. I think they were just 10 that they picked out of 100 and she got it. So if you need help with how to like write a convincing email to get scholarships on GRE, please let me know. There's Edu USA always have as well. Edu USA have, they pay for everything. There's another funding agency that pay for everything. So just let me know if you need help. We can always connect you to this funding organizations that can help. I don't really know much about all this funding but I know people that have benefited from this bodies or organizations that sponsor people for their exams, IELTS, application fee, and all. It was the time I paid for a friend. I paid for a friend application fee before. He said, "They come and pay for it." I said, "You are not serious about it." He said, "They said this time around I'm serious." I said, "Okay, you know what? Show me the list of schools you applied to." She showed me everything, and eventually I told her I don't have the full money, and I gave her half. And once she moved to the US, said, "David, even from the money you're getting, you see, you're able to give me this." She said, "Wow, I'm really grateful." If I see someone doing some things and I'm happy about it, it doesn't cost me giving the person $50 of $100 just to pay for the application fee. I just need to see that zeal in you. Like I need to see that fire in you. I told my sister, like, I can't force you to leave the country. She studied physics as well, like me. I said, I told her you have to do GRE and IX. I told her that they are very difficult, number one, and they're very expensive, and I will not waste my money. So if you are ready, let me know. She said, okay. And you can't force people to leave the country. That's one thing. During NSAS, I received a number of requests for people like, David, please, I want to leave this country. Some left a year after. As at 2024, some should stay back. So you don't have to like, some people believe that traveling is their final goal. But some people that like Nigeria, they want to work that way, fine. Most of my friends, like, they're out of the country already. The ones that are staying back are doing well, and they still want to leave. People like, David, please come and help us from this country. So it's just an advice to anyone out there. If you want to leave, please, you can. You can really do. You want scholarship in electrical electronics at master's level, how do I go about this? I think our time is up right now. You can always send me a message on an email about it, and we will talk about it. Alert, you have access to several offers online. Can do that. So I want to like appreciate everyone, all the admins that made it to this meeting, all my friends that made it to this meeting. I want to appreciate Loretta for helping me out management of everything. Thank everyone for like coming for today's webinar. And for Australia and USA, in 2 weeks' time, we have something better and something like awesome for us to share. So I say once again, thank you so much, and God bless everyone. So have a great evening and happy Sunday in advance and happy New Week. Thank you so much. Thank you.